Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, unfortunately today, we are recording on Broken Moon. I know how some people in the comment section in the last episode says, oh no, Broken Moon, but I promise you today we're going to be spectating and we're going to be learning a lot. So, that's actually a really good skin. I like that skin. That's awesome. I guess that's the Valentine's Day one. I hadn't seen that before. Sorry to get sidetracked. But today what we're going to be discussing, and I'm on an alt account. This is a Diamond 3 account. My main account right now is Diamond 2. What's interesting about this account is I was actually doing coaching for 2 individuals, and we're doing role reversal. Now, the interesting part about doing role reversal is the unfortunate part where it gets really difficult, especially when you're coaching 2 different people. But it turned out really well and really worked out in our favor. So when we talk about roles today and we're spectating whether we win or lose, I hadn't warmed up. The hour change, I'm not going to lie, has really thrown me off. So comment down below if the hour change is throwing you off, because it definitely has thrown me off. And I missed the storm point by an hour. Or no, like 2 minutes actually. It literally just changed. So where we're at now is we're going to spectate and talk about roles specifically. Talk about anchor, talk about flex, talk about entry, talk about support, what all those roles mean. Now, naturally what a Watson becomes is, you know, at the start really is an anchor and flex role. When you're in lower tier lobbies, roles can be just switch between any legend, and the higher tier lobbies, the reason they matter more is because legends don't necessarily have an out, or they don't necessarily have the power to control an area. This is potentially a hot drop? Yep, unfortunately. And I'm not really warmed up, so that's okay. It might turn into more of a spectating episode, and we can kind of talk more, so I can actually focus. But nonetheless, here we are. Just gonna grab that. I think I hear one. The flank over here on the left. Oh, nope, not on the left. I'm gonna go help cover for our... Might drop on her. There's one crack. She can resin reset. I'm gonna hold here for a second. Watch her cross. I'm gonna miss my shots because I'm not good right now. I'm gonna fence up the door at least, just for some cover. She could go in and potentially res. I don't have any front. I'm gonna run with the lifeline. Lifeline's acting as, I guess, makeshift entry, so that's fine. We have a Mastiff and there they are. Now I'm entry. I'm whiffing. There we go, one more hit. I didn't mean to drop it, Oh. She's got this. He is cracked, you got that. Coming down. Oh, thank you. Nice, good stuff. I wouldn't have gone for the res, but I didn't mean to drop there. Okay, I'm a little off, but that's okay. You know, not bad. Diamond getting some knocks and stuff. Gonna go for the res quickly. Okay, as we were saying, it's okay to flex between roles when you're between like rookie all the way to, I would even say, plat. You can play entry as Watson. Is it ideal? No. Would you do it at higher tier lobbies or anything like that? The answer still again would be no. I'm gonna let myself passive heal that. And the reason why you wouldn't is because you want to ensure that you have a way to get out of the fight. Now, when you're in buildings, you have to look at your utility, especially when you're playing ranked and you're playing with solos, what your utility is to get into a fight. So when people ask me, how do you fight? Well, if I'm able to fence up doors, block off areas, and we can isolate opponents, and we have height, well, then we can push. So in that scenario, we had height, regardless if I was missing shots or not. Realize that you're going to miss shots. You're going to be off your game most times, and you can still win encounters, okay? It's not impossible to win encounters, even if you're having a really bad day. It just matters if you're having better positioning and better angles, right? That should be always your key focus. Because I feel like individuals always say, well, how can I get better aim? How can I practice? How can I practice? Those things are very important. Don't get me wrong, but you can always train fundamentals to get them better. The harder thing to teach anybody, especially when they're watching the series, is just understanding when you have the advantage and when you don't have the advantage. So the reason why I went with the lifeline is because I heard somebody inside the building specifically, and I wanted to isolate with the lifeline just in case even if I got knocked, at least I was with her, so then, you know, I could get res and so forth. What the heck is this? That's a strange push. Oh no, I'm dead. That's unfortunate. I should have been paying more attention. See if we can get a res here. I promise you I'm not trying to throw my game. I mean, they were really low. See if I can get back in this really quick. I'm gonna reload my gun and then go in. Let's go. Let's not waste time. Not gonna lie, it was a very strange push. Even I got super confused. I think it was just a duo. Did they push because of the res and thinking they had the advantage? That was one of the strangest pushes I've ever seen. And I'm sorry for my voice. I know somebody will say, don't apologize for your voice. I have been having a lot of congestion as of late, and did they just run? No, but they got them both. Interesting. That, okay, well, pushing in with that information on diamond lobbies. So one thing you'll notice with diamond lobbies specifically is that individuals will push very, very early on because they have like crazy confidence. You know, everyone thinks that they can win fights and everything because they have the aim and everything, but realize the common theme of what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you need to play for better positioning. Even then, they came in late and I could have gotten that Ash, and I should have, but I'm just hard throwing. If you want to see me also play ranked, yesterday on stream we played a lot of ranked. I'm gonna ping that just as where the enemy is at, just so in case they don't know about the recon feature, so we know his team is over there. I just need to check more of my angles. And the hard part about doing this, I'm purposely not trying to throw these games, and you know, we might actually go up RP. This is a fantastic start so far. The whole idea is that you understand, and I try to like spectate, watch, you know, all the way to the end of the round, how it's feeling, how it's flowing. Dropping in the, like even the hot spots like Promenade or Terraformer, most of the time aren't bad. And the reason why they're not bad is because most people won't go there. So right now I'm just kind of holding, just waiting, because there's really no reason to leave here. We got RP, we're pretty much chilling at this point. I wouldn't mind more resources, but there's really nowhere to go right now until we get more information where zone is going. I could technically hit the console here, so I guess we could just go do that. And I feel bad because I'm trying to get a lot of concepts here out the door, and I made dedicated videos on this, but the videos don't necessarily do well. And the reason why is because most people don't understand what roles are and what roles they can have. So let's try to simulate some of them, even though I'm in a diamond lobby right now and I should be focusing on that. But realistically, the zone is closed. I'll put some fences here just so I can back and forth run in. So let's say I was entry fragger, right? So what entry fragger does, and there was a team, let's say above, this isn't the ideal push, but entry fragger would be at least right here to push up if needed, right? The support legend would be having, or support or flex would have an angle to make sure they have their cross in case they get pushed. They can hold it from here so they can see here, or they can hold it from this other angle here so they can see if they get pushed out. That's another angle they can have it. Or they could be on the other side to watch this other angle. Now, anchor would be somebody who, let's say there was a better position where they were holding this spot and they're holding this cross right here instead, but they're further away so you can retreat to be in a safer area, right? That would be anchor. Anchor is somebody who's going to pretty much get entry damage into the fight. And I don't mind dropping Loba ults because we get a lot of loot. So that's just simulating. It's not the best example, but I think most of you guys who are watching definitely understand what it is because you are probably either a higher tier player or you've been watching enough of the Spectating series to understand. What's up? Oh, nice. Armor? Thank you, thank you. I love Lifeline. You know, Lifeline is definitely a slept-on legend for ranked because if you fall behind in armors, you can easily catch up because of the care package. Armors are very important. One thing I see that is also a major mistake is people don't craft up their armors. So let's say we got pushed in that fight and our armors are bad, then we most likely would lose. So let's say you get to end game and you have nothing but blues, you need to craft up your armors, you need to get into some sort of fight. So if you're in Storm Point using the armories to rank up your armors just to get into fights, hitting the critters, it's not as safe though, I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely a lot more dangerous to do. But you kind of understand my point of, and I barely run in shotgun because I don't never really need that much. I will run a lot of heavy. I could use some nades. This is fine. We're just kind of chilling right now. There's really nothing else to do until the zone really gives us more information. I forgot to hit console because I'm a big dummy trying to talk about a lot of other concepts. There's a lot of mistakes that higher tier players will make. Nobody's perfect, so don't stress about perfection. Stress about your positioning and what utility you can provide for your team. If you kind of get the overall gist, you're going to be pretty useful for your roster. Otherwise, then yeah, most likely you're going to struggle. I like the fact we have a Loba on the team. Loba's really, really nice as well. This is a really strange comp, by the way. Technically, Loba would act as entry because she's the only one that can get in and out of the fight. But Lifeline technically could act as well if she goes in, but she can't get knocked first. Essentially, Lifeline has to be the last one getting knocked. So technically, it would be mostly Loba and I running in. And it's weird because I would technically need to be anchor, but Lifeline and I can like flex between the roles. Most pro players do this really, really well, and you'll notice that they change their playstyle depending on the legend that they're playing at the higher tier level. And the reason why they change it up is because they play a different role depending on what they're doing. I always think there's a wall there is not. I did that earlier as well. It's crazy. It just feels so inherent that there would be like a way in, but there's not. It drives me insane. I don't know why this building throws me off so much. It's very weird. I'm out of heavy ammo. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Heavy ammo here. Sorry, buddy. Over here hogging all the heavy ammo. I guess we could just go Bionomics. Bionomics is gonna be the end zone anyways. So how do you really know where zone's gonna pull? Well, the reason why I don't think it's gonna pull here is that the console's still located here, and most of the map is all located on this side. So there's little tricks that you can kind of look at the map and kind of guess. If, like, let's say this section was even smaller, it'd be less likely to go over here because it would be hitting on a mountainside. Now listen, the zones. I had to listen. Sorry. Alright, 3v2. Fence that so they can't come back through and get that banner. Alright, my aim is so bad right now. Oh my gosh. Good thing you guys aren't paying me for aim right now. So I'm using this as a makeshift, like, poker. Because I know my aim is a little rough. This isn't the best gen placement, but I'm trying to just apply pressure, which I just did. Technically, we can move up. None of our teammates, even though we have the advantage of moving up, we could get 30, so I'm going to work my way into this fight. So we call this scaling. This is a coach that I was talking to. Her name is Marissa. I like the term a lot. Okay, I'm overextended. I don't want to get isolated out. I'm going to take a different angle. There, she's queuing back. Let's move forward. We got to go. So I wanted to leave a little bit earlier. Shoot. This isn't good. 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 Yep, that's my bad, I guess. We just needed to move sooner into cultivation, but it's okay because we can always spectate. Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Oh gosh! Hi! 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 Okay, we're all together. We just need to push this up here. We just need to keep shoving through in a second. I know the other team's behind us. The team in front of us at least is a duo. Is that a banger? Nope. Push, Wraith down. Just keep shoving for space. Keep shoving for space. Did I miss her? Shoot. I screwed up in the smoke. I am all over the place, chat. I'm so sorry. But I guess you can see we all make mistakes. We just need to get placement. We have so much KP. This is greedy. Ready? Wow, that person must be at least 20 HP. At least. Okay, so the reason why I called earlier, I should have said something at least in comms. I like I said, I take ownership of that. It's always better just to kind of like look at your own mistakes of what you could have done to push the team to make a more informed decision. And we could kind of watch the lobby from back here, even though we're ratting. I'll try to like watch from this height up here, unless we get run up on. Otherwise, we're screwed. I don't think we're going to, but I'm still going to do my best to see what we can see from this angle. I feel bad for leaving the teammates, but I know there has to be a moment where you know that you just need to get out. If I stay there, then all this KP and all this great work is pretty much for nothing. I promise you, if we get top 3, we're going up at least 100 and some odd points, which would be great, right? So when looking for rat spots as well to minimize, I call this minimizing the loss. Unless I get shot here because I'm not finding the best spot. I need to keep rotating. I need to go all the way. I'm going to go all the way back here. Sweet. Let's move. I think there's somebody in the other in this building. That's unfortunate. They're gonna shove me. I'm just buying some time. I gotta run. Put the fences down just to save me just a little bit of time. Use this rock as a little bit of cover. Go from that rock to this rock so I got a little bit of cover. So they can't see me. Line of sight. Just keep moving. Use this other rock as a little bit of line of cover. Keep moving. And then I'm gonna cut exactly left so then I can also break that line of sight. And then right here, boom. Boom. And then realistically, I guess we could chill. Oh, shoot high. Good to see you. That's the guy from earlier. That's unfortunate. Now I gotta keep moving because I made noise. This is probably the worst spot ever. But I'm gonna wait here. The reason why it's the worst spot is that they're right there, but I can't really move in. I'm gonna take the Bangalore spot in a second. But I need to make sure this other team doesn't rotate on top of me, so... It's like the most... It's the most obvious and worst rat spot ever, but because they're all shooting and distracted, I'm going to leave that there for now. Yeah, they're in that building right there, and I'm going to move back. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get run up on. This is so bad. I wish I could take like an edge or something. And there you go, look, see the KP's coming in. This is why you warm up, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, today I lost the hour because daylight savings, which is very interesting, always fun. I heard this year is the last year, by the way. And then I'm all thrown off because we're trying to get this, but honestly, this turned out to be a good round. These guys can kind of see me there, so I'm going to back up this way. There's a death box here, so most of the time they won't rotate through. Let's see, anything else good? I prefer the PK. And we'll just hold. So if we're watching what the lobby is doing, let's do a little bit of commentary here. So we got this team that's holding here. And the reason why I felt confident that team wasn't going to push, their positioning is very good. It most likely will pull to the right. Let's see if we're right. Get it right. Aha! It did it! Let's go! It actually is right. Alright, but we do have this team in this building here. They're not mostly likely going to leave. What happens in diamond lobbies is that everyone decides to push everything and everyone's so confident that they can win every single game. It's really strange. And then what ends up happening at the very end is that everyone starts to play as if like, oh, it's ALGS, to start to play really smart. In platinum lobbies, I feel like a lot of people tend to play more patient, quote unquote patient, because I've seen lobbies where like the first zone is closing, there's still like 15 squads remaining. Or you might get into the plat lobby, there's like the extremes. And diamond is very consistent where you get really, really dumb lobbies where everyone just pushes because everyone thinks that they're good at the game. It's really, really interesting. This team is going to try to rotate towards me. If they do, I need to find another spot. I can hide underneath here. Trying to listen. They most likely won't come through here. It'd be very illogical to do it, but I've seen crazier stuff. Realistically, the building they should hold is this one. And I don't want to be in the reason why I don't use that. The reason why I don't want to be in the center right here just yet is because I'm trying to just edge the zone. Because this team may work their way in, or a team may panic or anything like that. It's better if you're ratting to just kind of work your way in through the zone, unless you know like the rat spot is insane. See, there we go. Like they might work their way into that. They're above me. They're left of me. That sucks! Keep cutting the corner, keep cutting the corner, keep cutting the corner. I'm in right here, that's crazy. So another little tip, if you could tell if you're in or not, is through the mini-map. So if you look in the upper left, I'm going to leave it a little bit, see? It's going to start blinking. When you go back in, I'm dead. They're going to look here. They're so close. I'm so dead. Come on, don't do it. But you see how it inches in? And overall, like this is, I called this before at the start. Like this is kind of watching the overall lobby, the way it plays. Everyone is trying to go to cultivation. And after a certain amount of fights, once we saw the zone was pulling to the spot, you pretty much need to say, okay, we have to go to zone. Now, realistically, the only area I can be in, unless I get caught out here in 2 seconds, is like right there in the water. Because it's got the most cover. This team luckily is distracted above us, and they're literally healing. If I get dropped on, I'm dead. 6 plus 60. See how they... Oh, shoot. There it is. There it is. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm going to try to go for this branch right here and hold. I got like a little bit of cover. Let's see if they get greedy on me. I could put my ult, but I don't want to make it too obvious where I'm at. Like I said, I gotta go for the water right here, or right here. I'm moving now because I hear them moving up. They're gonna shoot at me. Or not. I need to get inside the... Shoot. Okay, we're gonna chill right here. Oh, man. Blind. Love it. I can't use a bat. They'll hear me. Must be playing on 70 FOV. That's crazy. Hi! That was great. I don't know how they knew. That's crazy. Well, we went up some points. There you go. I'll spectate the rest of the lobby, how it plays out. That's a tough gig right there. Oh, it was a solo too. No, I should have just taken that. That's crazy. I thought she was with somebody. Nah, I should have just walked the bat and fought. Kudos to the Watson. Sometimes another play is just to play super confident, as if you are like a full 3-stack. I didn't hear any of the footsteps, and I should have pieced that together. Gonna get run up on here. Is this Bangler by herself also? No, this is definitely a full squad. This Watson's gone. She's gone, unfortunately. Remember how I was playing the last round? I should have fought more for my space. I should have just shot her. I should have just went for it. I was trying to listen for information. It was the biggest thing, and I just didn't register. Oh, there's other footsteps or not. I guess I was trying to get into the flow, but not bad for a first game on. Wow, this Watson is tearing it up. Watson main shout out there. I think he got top 5. That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. Yeah, because we were top 6 to top 5 for them. All right, so the hard part here, this team honestly has not the best spot, but really good angles right now because that team's running in. They're just getting mopped up. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about who's entry fragger here. So the entry fragger would be Bangalore to smoke and run up, or to throw down an ult. I don't know if they have their ult, but essentially for spectating this team right here, it would be the Bangalore needs to smoke forward and say, let's push this. Or the Seer can makeshift as a entry and throw down the ultimate to say we're going to put pressure. Right now, their goal, I could see that they're just not trying to get greedy, and they don't have a whole lot of KP, so they got to at least secure a little bit more. It would be kind of nice. They do have a Kraber, and I'm surprised that they haven't tried at least smoke and go underneath. I know that team above is probably most likely going to push, so that is the concern. Like, when you get into these end zones, the biggest concern that you run into is like, oh, you can hit him there. You can shoot him. You can shoot him, please. Shoot him. Oh, my gosh. Why would you take that? Just shoot! Oh my gosh! You're holding for like 3 decades. Why are you running through a fence? What is going on? This is... Are these players diamond? Yeah, what is happening? Sorry, I'm just like... Just completely lost here for a minute. Like, that was a leg. Shoot him. You have the shot. And I'm surprised. Okay, so this is a problem. When your entry fraggers don't push, and let's say you're defensive legend, what do? I call like the defensive legends the linebackers, right? The only thing you can do in that situation is be the linebacker and like work your way a little forward to incentivize to push. That's really all you could do. So whenever I was Watson, I'm just kind of like incentivizing to move in and say, hey, let's secure the spot. Good smoke on the height, just because now you can rotate. They can rotate because the vision's being blocked. And what they can do with the Bangalore and Seer combo is continue to smoke off and then throw down an ult and fight him through the smoke. Right now they're playing more or less the passive game. They're just going to wait for the other teams to make a mistake. Watson should gen. If they have their gen, this would be the perfect moment to gen because this is the end zone here. Fortunately, a lot of people got hit by the ult on their team, so they're not going to be able to dish out much pressure right now. But try to have, like if you're playing Watson, you're playing like especially a legend that counters a lot. Those are really great nades, by the way. Fantastic nades, 10 out of 10 with Arcstar again. Looking at this, really the key, they're not in the winning position anymore, but if they shove, this is great by the Seer trying to make a play. But the teammates aren't covering, especially whenever, pay attention to your HP. Honestly, I think the Bang should have been a little bit more in that fight. They should win this now, I think, right? Yeah, they got it. The Bang could have been a little bit more in it because they were still pretty healthy. Notice how even though they got the bat off, they were still healthy. At that point, you got to pay attention to HP. I would probably go back in the VOD, see who's the most healthy, has to shove forward. The Seer was really, really in it, and I think the Watson was getting cross angles. So that's another thing. When you're playing, you want to hold each other's crosses and cover each other's angles. The hardest thing you can do is be all in the same spot because, you know, remember how we were getting thermited earlier? That could be one of the worst things. This lifeline was fantastic. Also, kudos to the lifeline on all the reses, especially whenever I was getting dropped because I'm a baddie at the game. We might just break even. Let's see how we do in the next round. But keep in mind, the goal today, crosses. So when I say holding crosses, it means that let's say your entry is fighting, that if they get wide swung, that you can still blast them and be in the fight. If you're not holding their cross, you're not really in the fight with them. And even if you're right on top of each other, you would have to be super in sync to swing the corner together as if you were the Avengers, you know, just wide swinging that angle. So we learned a lot there. I still felt, even though we survived a lot longer, with the spectating series, again, I purposely am not trying to throw the games. I probably should have warmed up a little bit more before we started, but nonetheless, I mean, we still had some pretty good stuff, going up some points, not too bad. And again, when you know that you have to leave, it's just whenever you know there's just too many teams and you have to just say it. There's not much else you can do. You know, the hard part, depending on your team's legend pick, is what kind of rotation do you have. You can incentivize rotation. Let's say it's like a Pathfinder. A great example is one pops in here, is to blast out your zip line to a direction and start pointing and say, we're going this way. I trust you, most players will start to move. If you're a controller legend, just start working your way in and start pinging. I could have done that way sooner. And we needed to push that duo squad a lot faster, especially once we got the knock. Once you have the armor advantage, as long as you do it together and you hold your crosses, that was a great spot to have it. The reason I backed up when I went to the left is because I realized nobody was holding my cross. Look at this. Wow, we're getting some stellar teammates today. Got a lifeline really on the ball, and now we have, you know, like, it's just crazy. All right, so we're gonna do, let's get in there. Let's do this. I'm gonna pass it to them just in case they're playing together, because that guy is a high rank, unless he's just doing solo to masters. We'll see. I kind of assume other players, especially at this lobby, are playing together. There's not many psychopaths like myself that'll solo queue through Diamond. We were solo queuing yesterday on stream, like I mentioned. I think we went up about 250 RP, maybe 300. It was a lot of fun. We're playing a lot of Loba, so if you're interested in Loba and you wanted to see some solo queuing, it was pretty decent. It wasn't half bad, so I definitely recommend checking that out. So as long as you step away and you're a little bit more aware of your role, now don't feel like you're stuck in your role either. What makes a really, really good team is once you understand the fundamentals of every single role and how to do it. I've been hard coaching 2 peeps into forcing them into a role and then hard learning it. When I mean hard learning it, not even switching to another role and saying this is the only option. Because there are people that struggle with anchoring, there are people that struggle with entry fragging and scaling up to a fight. Another word for it, like I said, is working your way into a fight. I'm going to break away so we're not looting all the same spot. Was there a team here? I heard the audio line, so I wasn't sure if that meant there was a team here or not, and I wasn't paying attention. Another tip, pay attention whenever you're landing. Paying attention to your landing is very, very important, because I don't even know if there's a team here. I'm going to hit the consoles and work my way in through. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going all the way over there now. Alright, I'll hit the console. We need to distribute loot. I don't ever land Foundry. The only downside about Foundry, if there's multiple teams all in this area, that it's a hard rotation in. This is gonna be a lot of running. For most new players, if you're more experienced and you know how to work your way through the map, playing Edge is fine. I feel like a lot of new players will loot forever and then be super late into zone, and they won't ever get into fights. If you're newer, especially if you're playing between rookie all the way to gold, I highly recommend landing more in the center of the map so you can actually get into a fight. Pros will always say, you know, get into a fight, get into a fight. What does that mean? You got to get there at least somewhat. Let's be a horrible individual with a lot of not so positive thoughts and run the charge rifle, right? Let's do that. Everyone can judge me in the comments. Listen, we're here to win. The charge rifle is broken. In the right hands, it is broken. I 100% agree. So we're going to run it. You know why? Because we're a horrible individual and human being. And we're going to look at a team from a mile away because we're spectating. And we're going to blast them because we have no moral compass. Watch YouTube like go through the audio of this and they're like, what kind of person is this? What are they talking about? You know, because I'm sure YouTube has like a bot that just kind of goes through everything. I have no sights. Wouldn't mind you know what combo I love running with this is a flatline. The car isn't bad, but I do love running the flatline. I know I passed up the Nemesis rifle. The Nemesis close range hipfire sucks unless you ADS it, but I don't really want to ADS it, so here we are. I need to craft up my armors. R99 is better than the car. But I have no attachments for this. Okay, there's a blue. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Looting is a little slower this go around because I don't know this section of the map. Ping that for my teammate. Teammate needs that. Let's grab a little bit of that. I need a 4x8 or something. Otherwise, we're good. So realistically, this is what happens when you play the outskirts of this, is that it really goes slow. I'm going to stick with the car until I find myself a flat line. That's kind of my goal. I at least want to have a somewhat of a mag. This is pretty much equal to a base R99, I would suppose. We're kind of sticking together. I really should have paid more attention to the start. I'll run a 2x on that. That's fine. There we go. There, that's better. There, because I found a mag. I'm more comfortable with that. And I know there was other stuff before, but it's fine. We'll live. Now I need an R301 instead of a flatline. I don't prefer running the R301 because the hipfire is so bad. The reason why the flatline is a little better is because at least you have a larger mag. So you can kind of stay in it a little longer when you have 30 bullets versus, you know, the full mag of an R301. Just, it's a little different, you know, not massive. They're probably they're probably like right there then. I'll let the other guy get that. Other individual person. This is an awful. This is what I call like a really slow game. And this isn't bad because you can minimize your loss. And the plus side is that we have... They want to chill here? What's the plan, buddy? Okay, we're working our way in. If you get teammates like this who land safe and they really want to play safe, I would say, unfortunately, if you run into this situation, you're kind of forced to move at their meta and their pacing. There's really... We could fight this. Pathfinder's really in it. I am a little late, Pathy. And I think the Bloodhound as well. This should be like right here. I really am not the biggest fan of Bloodhound's rework. I know that they... Yeah, you get used to it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I think Sierra is the bigger problem with the ultimate. Bloodhound is like a dolphin echolocation kind of scan. Echolocation, get advantage. Unfortunately, if you get teammates like this, even if you're entry fragger, it's really hard to incentivize people to move. I mean, keep in mind this person's pred. They know what they're doing too. Listen, this isn't bad pacing. Okay, like as you're watching, this is not bad. Okay. Because the end zone always becomes a cluster. Usually the start, remember how I told you the start of the round, we're going to get to at least like 10 squads before first round ends. It always happens. Everyone in Diamond just tends to fight everything, and then everything kind of slows down, okay? So this is actually probably the most important section for individuals to watch, because this is the reality of what happens. This is the reality. And sometimes you get teammates like you have, I mean, whether they're good or bad. I mean, the guy has a multi-time pred badge. Like, he knows what he's doing. You know, they know how to play. They must be in the choke right there. We might be able to cut him off. I am going to start taking shots right away just to assert a little dominance here. So if you're wondering like why I'm probably going to take shots, should we like be safe and everything? We have zone. We're safe. It might be even further though, because I know that's just a general just the vicinity. To take the off angle, stick with the blood. I'm trying to move up with the Pathfinder a lot because I'm using him as my escape. If a legend has an out such as a zip, that's going to be my escape to get out. Bloodhound most likely won't. That'll probably be my off angle, essentially. Alright, I guess we're just chilling. The most important aspect of all of Ranked as you're watching the spectating series: patience. When people ask me, how do you improve? How do you get better? Lots and lots of patience. Rank takes a lot as you're watching this video. Patience of watching the video and just going through it and seeing the motions of what people do. We're together. We're holding crosses. We hit the beacon earlier. Is there another one over there? There's not.
Next ring is far.
Knowing your zones is key. Rotating. Watching your crosses. One thing I see a lot of players that they don't do is that they don't look left and right. It's like crossing the street. Listen, look left and right before you cross the street. And if you get shot, it's kind of your fault. Unless they just surprise you in like the craziest way possible. Just in case they happen to be up there. Alright, he's up. And we keep moving. Ah, look at that. Nice. We're pretty much chilling. This setup isn't bad. Our armors aren't awful. We have one purple. Heard. Trying to create an opening. I didn't create an opening. I gotta move with the blood. Move inside, move inside, move inside, move inside. Good job, good job, good job. Take a slow reset. The gen was good because they can't nade. Don't go down. Alright, I'm gonna bat just to be safe, and then I'll literally shove right back in. And we have it. We should win this. There we go. Good cleanup. So you see how I mentioned how the Bloodhound was going to act as a flex and take off angles, and I pushed in directly? I did put the gen here as like my soft reset, but I didn't overextend consistently. I went in and went out. I went in and went out. Realistically, the Pathfinder should do that, but the Pathfinder is also a walking fridge. Hitbox very big. If you're Watson, your hitbox is smaller, so you should be able to do what you need to do. Alright, I'm just going to fence random spots, just in case they do run up. Realistically, we're chilling. We're outside of zone. We got our KP. There's 6 squads remaining, so this is also an important tip. So if you look at the number of squads remaining, and you see that there's only like 7 or 6, and you're fighting outside of zone, most likely you're not going to get run up on. The reason why is that the numbers are in your favor. So when you think about fights, think about the statistics, as I'm trying to talk, of you winning or losing that encounter. So right now, statistically, because there's not a lot of squads, this fight could be isolated. There could be 4 over here and 1 over there, and then boom, that's the whole lobby, right? So I want you to start thinking about that. If you notice that there's 16 teams remaining and you fight here, with 16 squads, you need to understand that most likely there's going to be other teams and people nearby, okay? So I want you to play those odds. I want you to look at the squads and I want you to look at the feed. If you look at the feed, you see a lot of knocks and you know that, okay, the lobby's starting to really get into it. So if we hear shots, that we know that's probably going to be a dog pile there. So whenever you get thirded and you get surprised because you thirded and you see that the lobby's been fighting for an extended period of time, don't be shocked if you just don't happen to get that clutched out, okay? That's just, you just have to understand how the flow of the lobby essentially is going to work. But you see how, okay, I don't have the charge rifle for entry from a distance, but I pretty much just went in with the R99. And if you're Watson, you just want to duck and weave. And realistically, the Pathfinder, if you're in an open field, is your attack dog. But in that scenario, I pretty much was using myself as consistent bait. One, my aim isn't fantastic today, but I am able to like bait people going in and out. So it just kind of works out in that favor. It works. It works in these fights. Sorry if you hear a rumbling, the garage door is opening and closing and happen to be right above it. So just in case you're like, what's that noise? That's what it is. I like to record these raw because I'm able to give a lot of tips in real time. So you know that I'm not just giving you a load of, lack for a better word, a load of crap for tips. They're actually giving you something real. The last spectating series, if you comment down below and say, Dash, how come there's no spectating? Last episode, there was a lot of spectating because we died. These teams, I mean, we're commenting, seeing how the flow of the lobby, we just didn't get eliminated. And I think we went up RP, so I am not complaining. I went up RP on this account. I mean, might get masters twice. Why not? Originally did this for coaching, and then it kind of works out in the favor, you know? Especially when you need to reset to a role and somebody doesn't understand and they don't play it at a high level. You might play anchor at a master level, but you might play entry at a silver. These are a lot of unspoken things that are really untalked about at like a scrim and high tier level on what your role is. I know they have classes like assault, skirmisher. Like, what does a skirmisher mean? Sometimes they're entry, sometimes they're flex. I'm ping right here. Oh shoot, drop down. Put gen so I don't get ulted. Medkit. That person's really low. There, the ult actually did us work, and I'm gonna top off and move back in. Another squad, not good. We need to back up. Let's go to the spot. Let's try to get out of this and back up. There's like 3 different squads here, I think. If we could just reposition. Oh, shoot. Oh, I made a bad call. What about? I had your cross. I'm sorry, blood. I tried to hit him. Go to the path, go to the path, go to the path. This is where the chaos ensues. I was just trying to get us out, was the goal. Now we're just going to dominate space as if we're a squad of 3. I think we should just take in a building instead. I feel like I threw that Bloods game. That's okay. I'm sure he's okay with us surviving so we can get the points and secure this. Let me look over on this side to put some pressure. It makes sense that there would have been a team here, but the whole time, we didn't see anything over here. They must have just shown up. I'm going to wait to see if we can put some pressure. I gotta reload. I'm gonna try to go path. Do you think you need a banner? If I cover? I'm gonna try to go for it. I'm gonna try to go for it. Nice, nice. I'll watch for you. I'll watch for you. I hear them. I hear them. Get ready to grapple out, okay? I do not have a Moby. But we might... Oh, shoot. On my left. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Supplies coming in.
Okay, we just gotta rotate. We gotta rotate. I need to get back inside. Clean door closure.
Setting a fence. Anyone passes through here, we'll know.
The only place we can res them. Is the Moby in the crafter? Yeah, it is. Moby's in crafter. I got materials. 7. Moby's in crafter. I'm gonna see if I can craft it. Alright, we gotta look, essentially, guys.
Replicator here.
Going for it. I'm gonna choose this side. Gosh. Moby.
Crafting. Just a moment, s'il vous plaît.
Watch right, watch left. Hold, wait. Just replace it. I forgot I had heat shields. I'm gonna res him in the back. Let's see if I can. Just when he lands. It's not in right here. What's in that's safe? Choose the other side so it's not in the front. Right here. Safe spot.
Deploying respawn beacon.
I want to be able to res him safely. I think that Wraith might have been a solo too. Put some fences here just to occupy just a little bit more.
The circuit is complete.
Plus 57, guys. This isn't half bad. This has been interesting. He's resing him. What the heck? We can shot it. Think I got it. Hold on. Got it. Excuse me. Okay, now we gotta hold roof because I really think that guy's a solo over there. I'm almost positive. He's acting like a solo. He hasn't pushed. Like, if he knows that we're by ourselves, why hasn't he pushed? These are questions you should also ask yourself when they're playing. Sometimes people just do illogical stuff, but...
2020. Pardon. Nemesis here.
I'm dumb for just holding that. I was trying to ping it for him. Okay, we move up. Tempted to give him my armor so I can level it. Oh, we got armors over here. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Top off my HP. We can coexist underneath or we can shove up top. I think we're gonna coexist underneath though. I'm gonna grab heat shields to buy ourselves some more time if needed. I'm dropping a sack of cells.
Shields earlier.
See which way they want to go. I'm kind of down to play underneath. There's less space, but I could put a gen here.
Squad attacking us. Recharging my shields.
Use this as cover for just a second. What? They dropped. That's unfortunate. I didn't think they were going to drop from height. It makes sense they did damage. Blood, I'm going to try to crawl all the way to you. Oh, shoot. That's okay. Alright, we get to spectate. We get to watch. Top 4? I mean, we might get top 3. I didn't think they were going to drop, though. That was kind of surprising. And then they dropped right behind me. They got this. I guess we could have taken more of the right. That would probably have been the better option. I could have called that like it's tough because the height would have been able to watch us right here, and then this team would have definitely shot. This is a tough zone. You either want to be already up top or on this opposite side already. Maybe we could have put a zip line and just kind of booked it. You know, just ended up here, but there's still 4 squads. I assume there's one here, here, and then here, and then they're located here. And nobody wants to be in the center. There's a reason why nobody wants to be in the center, because you're just going to get shot by everybody. So this zone, when you're looking at zone, you have to understand whether you want to be there early or you want to be there late. This zone, there we go, top 3. Might get top 2. Wow. This has been a really, really interesting episode. We talked a lot about, you know, roles, positioning, We've seen diamond lobbies play out like plat lobbies sometimes. We've seen some questionable pushes. You've seen some questionable gameplay by myself. Still went up RP. Listen, this is how it normally goes for ranked. This is if you can play at this level, you're doing just fine. It just takes a lot of patience. You know, securing your shots, even if you have a bad day, like we mentioned, it's not a bad thing to have an off day with your aim. Focus more on consistencies, shot calling yourself, making sure that you're playing well with your teammates. Slow it down. I get, you know how we said at the start of the round that this round was super slow and boring? Look where we're at right now. We're plus, I think, at least 65. I don't remember how many of the circle hands we had, but this could be great KP, you know, across the board. Great RP. They're fighting. Could get second place. They're probably not going to look for him as an individual because they're fighting. And that's something to keep in mind. If you're fighting with the other squad and there's a third, try to mentally take note if there is a rat in the lobby or if there's not a rat in the lobby. Because they could grief. The Bloodhound, they could wait and absolutely clutch us out. Now we're going to have to see what happens here. Who's going to push who first? Even if this team decides to take on the rat, one of them, they know that the other team is going to say, oh, we got to push it. It's the last squad. And then they'll just pretty much instigate it. Oh, here they come. This is where the chaos starts. This is where the round ends. Wow, they didn't fight him. Good little ring around the rosy right there. That's crazy. Like, I bet you the comms was, don't get greedy, don't get greedy. Look at that. Is this the pred? Yeah, he's got the double. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. Let's go. Is that for arenas? No, that's the actual pred badge, I think, right? Yeah. Kudos to them. I wonder who this is. Oh, imagine somebody we know. Because I don't know the name. And I know I don't have the mic on. Let's see if they're saying anything. You never know what people say. So there comes. Listen, if you don't have a microphone, you could still get a lot of great information, right? He's common. You can still understand what players are doing. If you're a good enough player and you have great game sense, you can see where your teammates are moving or if you're falling behind or what you need to do, okay? I could tell what the plan was with the Bloodhound. You know, in that moment, any one of us could have pinged and put a zip and did something different, but we just didn't. Even high-tier players make mistakes. This is great positioning, hugging the zone. Oh my god, the patience! The patience, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! Good ult. Run that angle. Run that angle. Run it in, lady. Ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to say ladies and gentlemen. Good bat, good bat, good bat. I'm getting like super hyped here. Good wall bounce. Let's go. Great hemlock shots. Watch your angles. Watch your angles. Oh, that's so close. Then I got so excited. I was trying to say ladies and gentlemen and didn't. That was good. That was a good fight. Third place. Let's keep watching. Completely disrupted that team. That knock right there on the horizon changed everything. At that point, playing knockdowns, that team with the Newcastle won. That's just GG's. Remember how I said that the rat team can also grief? It's so important to keep track of the rat. Oh man, it could turn around the game. Literally that damage threw them all off completely. From what could have been a good game, turned into a rough one. Seriously, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed recording it. I always learn a lot of this for myself, just doing this. I feel like I always am taking a step forward, improving, and hope that you do as well. Hopefully you join me in the journey of improving. My damage could have been way better. Across the board today could have been better. But you know what? We played with a squad. We made plays. We made decisions. Everything is great when you're doing that. So again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Man, we're up. Look at that. I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, bye, everybody.